We're actually live.
I don't know. I'm gonna go see. I can't tell if we're live or not. I don't know if we're live. Let me see here.
Bro, I just got my fries.
He just got his fries. Let me see here.
Let me see where they're
I'm trying to see here if we're live. I don't know if we are or not. We are. Oh my goodness, we actually are. Wow. I see it.
Yeah.
That's
Okay, we
amazing.
are live. Okay, welcome in, guys. Okay, we are live. Yeah, see, there's me. Trey's just got his thing on. Yeah, Trey wanted to try to go live today. Oh, there we are. Look at that. That's crazy.
Man.
Trey wanted to go live, so that's what we're doing. He did it somehow. I don't know how he did it, but this is episode 33 of the Playbook Podcast. Very first live stream. So hopefully it goes well. If it doesn't, that stinks, and we'll just go back to what we normally do. But we're going to jump right in. Nevertheless, we're going to treat it like a normal episode, unless we see some questions in the comments. Then we'll answer those. But if not, then just normal episode. We have a lot to talk about. We have a lot of NBA. The conference finals are in full swing. Knicks versus Pacers. Thunder versus the Timberwolves is wrapping up right now. The Thunder are up like 1 trillion points. They're up 31 with 8 minutes left. So that game is over. Congratulations on the Thunder to going to the finals. They've been the best team all year, and they are in the finals. So we will see what happens on the eastern side of the bracket, see who they're playing. And we're really excited for that. And we're going to talk about all that. We're going to talk about all of that. But before we do that, before we talk about that, I'm not in a good mood today, guys. I'm a little upset. One of my best friend's favorite team is the Thunder. So obviously, when your best friend's favorite team goes to the finals and is successful, you're angry about that. Shout out to my boy Amish. I said that the Thunder were going to choke in the second round, and now they're in the finals. So I look a little stupid, but it's okay. We got to hope that the Pacers' dark magic is enough to overcome the Thunder's flopping. So we'll see what happens. But before we get into all that, I'm a little angry today at other reasons too. I'm angry at my co-host today, guys. I'm a little upset at my co-host today. Trey Lopez. It has angered me slightly. He has this thing he's doing where about, I don't know, every hour, every 30 minutes sometimes, I get a text message from him saying that the GOAT race or the GOAT in basketball is a tie between LeBron and MJ. And if you guys were here for our top 10 players of all time list, you know that Trey said it was LeBron. He has since walked it back and said that it's a tie. He said he's stuck at a tie now. He said that it's tied between LeBron and MJ. That angers me greatly. I wish he would pick one. I'd rather him pick MJ. You know, just have whoever you think. He's playing both sides. I know there's some viewers of the show that think MJ's the GOAT, and I know Trey doesn't want them to be mad at him, and he doesn't want everyone to be upset. And he's trying to go into the media. He got his associates. Congrats to him in mass communication and mass media, and that's awesome. And he's going to go and he's going to be a high school writer this fall, I believe. And then he wants to go to ESPN and all that. So he's making sure his GOAT argument is friendly to both sides. And you know what? I don't appreciate that very much, Trey. I wish you would just pick one. It's LeBron James. I know it's LeBron James. Jaden knows it's LeBron James. Your dog knows it's LeBron James. Your uncle, even though he doesn't admit it, knows it's LeBron James. We all know it's LeBron James. I wish you would just say it, but it's okay, man. I'm a little upset about that. But it's okay. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. We're going to talk about a TikTok trend that's going around, #OpenTheVault, which has been able to shed some great life and light onto the GOAT debate. So, real quickly, guys, we're just going to jump right into this here. Knicks versus Pacers.
Hold up. Here's the deal, Nick. Okay. So I get it. I get what you mean by the GOAT debate and all that stuff. And here's the deal. Okay. I'll say about the GOAT debate real quick. Now that we're live. My point is this. Michael Jordan played in the era that was for him. Okay. We can't
Weak era.
we can't dictate the fact he played in a bad era or a good era. Depends. I mean, at the time, there was 15 international teams coming to the NBA and 15 international players coming to the NBA after the Dream Team. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is this: LeBron James is a better overall basketball player. I will say that to you. Better rebounder, athleticism was off the charts, especially in 09. And then 09 from 2009 to about 2022. Yeah, we can see you, Drake. By the way, we can see you, Drake. He was the most athletic player we ever seen.
We can see you, dog. We can see you.
But the GOAT debate, just appreciate both guys. It's a tie. Deal with it. And I just can't choose. I gotta watch more games, guys. Let me watch all their games first, and then next thing you know, we'll get right into it. From there on, I don't know. I still got to think about the GOAT debate. LeBron James for sure had probably the best performance ever in the NBA playoffs. 45, 15, and 5. 3-1 comeback. Unbelievable. The best IQ ever in basketball history. Okay. But I just can't choose, man.
See, he'll do the thing where he's like, oh, this is why LeBron's better. LeBron's better at this. LeBron's better than that. LeBron played in a tougher era. LeBron never, he was only once favored in the finals. Like, he'll go through all these things and then be like, oh, it's a tie. But you know what? It's okay. I'll just stay angry at him. And maybe one day he will decide to actually man up and choose one. But until then, he will just text me every 30 minutes about how it's a tie. So that's just something I'll have to live with and deal with. But yeah, we are moving on here. We're talking some current basketball. LeBron's the face of the league when we got 4 teams who have nothing to do with LeBron, and we're still talking about LeBron as the first part of our show. It's just what happens when you're the GOAT. So, Knicks versus Pacers. That's actually a great question. Drake asked, where do you put Tyrese Halliburton in passing? We're actually talking about Knicks Pacers right now. In the league, I mean, he's got to be a top 3 passer in the league. I think LeBron, Halliburton, and I would do LeBron, Halliburton, and probably, man, that third one's tough. Halliburton's like one of the only true point guards left in the league, right? Like, he really is. He's one of the only true pass first point guards left. But LeBron and Halliburton are definitely 1 and 2 either way, in my opinion. And then Joker's 3. Joker would be 1, 2, or 3. Halliburton, yeah. So for sure. I mean, what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I agree with you. Right, and right now this season, he's averaging 9.7 assists per game this season. So, and also in the playoffs right now, actually since playoffs happened, averaging 11 points assists per game.
Yeah.
Per game.
Yeah, I definitely think that he's.
Halliburton. So what do you think, Victor?
He's asking if Tyrese Halliburton engages in nefarious activities such as sacrificing and horrific acts of black magic, and I do think so. I actually do think so for sure. But in your guys' opinion, I guess I'll ask Tro, and we'll go to Jaden for this. What's the biggest reason why the Knicks are down 3-1 right now? Do you guys think?
I think it's their depth. Indiana's depth big time. Indiana's a really good team up bench wise. They have more size too, so it has a lot to do with it too. I think the Knicks are playing good games, close games sometimes. I mean, but it's just Indiana's too deep, man. They're just way too deep. They're just like legit so much in depth too. And I know I think a big part of the role, believe it or not, is he's really that benefactor, the factor of the game. So
Mhm.
I think it's between Cat and the depth of Indiana team.
Okay.
That's my
Jaden, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I mean, the Pacers are not a terrible team by any means. I definitely underestimated them. I will admit that in the beginning of or in the middle of the season. Um, but in my opinion, I think that the Knicks have kind of been slacking in their defense in this series.
right.
I think that they've just been letting too many points go by that they definitely could stop. I think a lot of it is just lack of effort on defense. And I mean, I get it. You've been playing this whole playoff series, and you get tired. But when you get this close, you can't let up on games like this. So I think for me personally, I think it's just their defense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of a big thing is they are like they're known to be like a good defensive team the Knicks, and they really haven't. I feel like a lot of that is it's kind of I think both of what you guys are saying, the depth of Indiana and the lack of defense from the Knicks or being able to slow down the Pacers offense has really led to this like really bad matchup almost because you got for the series, Siakam's averaging 30. I'm sorry, Siakam's averaging 20 on 52%. Tyrese Halliburton's averaging 9 assists. And you kind of just have like this. What makes the Pacers special is their depth and their ability for you look after a game from the Pacers and like 5, 6, 7 guys are all in double figures. Everyone gets to eat pretty much is kind of the whole point here. And in that game 4, I think Pascal Siakam was fantastic in game 3, and then in game 4, you got Siakam again, 30 points. Halliburton had 32. TJ McConnell, I'm sorry, Benedict Mathurin had 20. Aaron Nesmith had 16. Miles Turner had 13. And then you got 6 from TJ McConnell and 3 assists, 5 from Obi Toppin and 2 assists and 2 steals. I mean, they can get their points from a variety of different players. And with Halliburton, leading the way, he's one of 3 guys. Trey's just I don't know what's going on over there. He's just watching an episode of something in the middle of my take. I really appreciate that. You got Halliburton. He's one of 3 guys to have 30, 10, and 15. So 30 points, 10 rebounds, and 15 assists. And Trey just can't help himself. He's doing it on purpose now. This guy wanted to go live, and now he's over here. Just listening to stuff in the middle of the episode. So that's very fun. But anyways, if I can actually get through this without Trey watching something, he commented in his own YouTube video. He just commented. He said, "I don't know who that is." It literally says Trey Lopez. Anyways, he's one of 3 guys. I will get through this. 3 guys that have scored 30 plus points, had 10 plus rebounds, and had 15 plus assists in a playoff game. He joins Joker and Oscar Robinson as the only 2 guys to do that. I'm actually shocked LeBron isn't on that list. He must have missed it by 1 or 2 rebounds or 1 or 2 assists here and there. But I mean, he had 0 turnovers and 15 assists. He was excellent. And I think it's definitely a mix of all that. And as we're on the topic of this, of Tyrese Halliburton, do you guys think he's stamped himself as a superstar?
I'm gonna say it. I think he has. Because since the All-Star break happened, averaging 25% points per 25.8 points per game, a true percentage of 83% from true percentage of shooting, and on top of that, this playoffs too. He's sending people home. He's made big shots in the fourth quarter, coming down to the end. So in my book, he's a superstar. And here's the deal, I get it. He ain't the most classiest guy in the league, or selling the big tickets and all that stuff. But dude, look at his game. This whole narrative that the media has put out there saying that all because of the way because of his personality and whatnot, that's just stupid. He's not like people think he's not the face of the Indiana Pacers, by the way. He's the face of Indiana Pacers, guys. Who is it? It's not Pascal Siakam. It's not Miles Turner. It's literally Tyrese Halliburton. There's only two people in that city that are the biggest faces of Indiana. That's Caitlin Clark, and then that's Tyrese Halliburton. They sell tickets out. They will put you on the map. Tyrese Halliburton's going to go to the finals tomorrow, probably.
Mm.
And might be the worst finals ever in my book. It's going to the finals, guys. He literally is.
Yeah.
So this is stupid narrative that Stephen A. said on First Take. It was like, bro, he's a superstar, Stephen A. Like this whole narrative that because of his personality, and that's why he's not a superstar, or he ain't flashy enough. He ain't a skilled guy. This guy's averaging 30 points per game this whole postseason, guys. So yes, he's a superstar in my book. Go ahead.
Yeah. I think one thing that I look at when, having a conversation of, is he a superstar? I think it's, you got to look at how they perform in the playoffs.
Right.
And I think that he has really, he showed up in the playoffs. And he's played all season. He's played well. But as far as, the playoffs, he's really showed up. He showed that, he's here to do what it takes to win. And he is performing well. So I think that, I would consider him a superstar. I think he's definitely on his way, to bro, Trey, you gotta stop commenting, bro.
I don't know what that is, bro. I think that's my girl because she has my YouTube.
Okay, so that's Trey, but it's okay, man.
But yeah, he's
sorry. Go ahead, Jay. That's hilarious.
Yeah, he's a superstar. I'm gonna leave it at that because.
Yeah, I'll try to get through this without Trey derailing what I'm saying by either playing something on his computer or commenting in his own YouTube live. But I agree with both of you guys. I think he's a superstar. I think he's stamped himself as a superstar. I'm going to give you some numbers from this playoff run. They handled Milwaukee pretty easily. He didn't really have to do much. His best game in that series was probably game 3. I'm sorry, probably game 2. He had 21 points, 12 assists. He didn't really have to do much. In the closeout game, he had 26, 5, and 9, 3 steals, 3 blocks. That's pretty good. Versus Cleveland, he really didn't play well outside of game 1 and game 5. Game 1, he had 22 points, 13 assists. Game 5, he had 31, 6, and 8 in the closeout game. Very good. But this series against the Knicks, he's gone 31, 4, and 11, 14, 8, and 11, 24, and 7, and 32, 12, and 15. He's had some excellent games. He's had some excellent moments. I think he's had multiple game winners in this playoff run. He had the one versus Milwaukee, and he had the one versus, I think he had one versus Cleveland and one versus New York, if I'm not mistaken. But definitely one versus Milwaukee and one versus the Knicks. So yeah, he's a superstar. I definitely think so. Absolutely. And if the Knicks lose tomorrow and their series is over, do you guys think that their head coach Tom Thibodeau, Trey spelt that probably the worst I've ever seen anyone spell anything in my whole life? But it's okay. Do you guys think?
I don't even know how to say his name, dude. It's the longest name ever.
Tom Thibodeau. Do you guys think that Tom Thibodeau? Do you guys think that Tom Thibodeau is going to be on the chopping block of being the next coach that gets fired?
I think so. He did it. Look at Chicago. His record in Chicago. He with Derrick Rose. He didn't get it done there. Unfortunately, playing against a young LeBron James, and things happen with LeBron. So I'm gonna give him slack there. Minnesota, Ant-Man's first year in the NBA. They bounced out in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
And then now the Knicks. And the thing with Tom Thibodeau is that he runs his players to the ground very deeply, that he doesn't give them any rest. I mean, yesterday, I don't know if I saw Jalen Brunson get a rest at all in the second half. Did anybody see that? Because that guy was playing like the whole first half, second half, basically. So I do think that if Knicks lose tomorrow night, he's gonna get fired.
Mm.
I think I'm gonna have to disagree with that one. And my reasoning is I don't think the majority of their loss that they're facing right now is due to a lack of coaching. I think it's due to coaching can always help, help push your team. Coaching can always help make your team better, and that's a lot of the game is coaching. But at the same time, you got to look at, you can coach all you want, but if you got players on your team who aren't, putting out as much as they need to in the games, that's not the coach's fault. And there's stuff that he could do better, obviously, but I think he could also just be learning things, for the team as a coach. So I think just as of right now, I don't think he'd be on the chopping block or, look at being fired. I think that, maybe if he has another bad year, or if he has a bad year next season, maybe. But I don't think what the Pacers need, or the Knicks need, is a new coach. I don't see that being, something they need right now.
Yeah, I think I agree with Jaden, because when the Knicks haven't made the conference finals in like 30 years or whatever, 20 years, something like that. So it's been a long time. He's been able to take this team further than any coach has been able to take the Knicks since, like Patrick Ewing and Bernard King and players like that. So I do think that if you look at the landscape of the league where all the coaches are at this point, there's not a lot of great coaches available. You're going to have to take a swing on a new coach, right? I mean, you could get Mike Malone if you wanted to. You could try to go a great coach to come out of retirement, but other than that, I don't really think that there's much of a market for coaches for New York City. Tom Thibodeau fits the culture of toughness, and he plays his guys 45 minutes a game or whatever. I will forever disrespect him for what he did to my precious Derrick Rose. I'm going to put all the blame on Tom Thibodeau instead of Derrick Rose's paper ankles and wet noodle knees. But still, I think Jaden was on the hit the nail on the head when he said that their problem isn't coaching. The players are just getting outplayed. And I know Rick Carlisle is a great coach. He's not. I don't think he's top 5 coach in the league. I don't think anyone thinks he's top 5 coach in the league. So I don't think he's getting outcoached. I think his team's getting outplayed. We're gonna move to the other side of the bracket. This game actually just wrapped up. This is one of the nice things about going live is we get to talk about it as soon as it happens. And then it's relevant because it comes out the actual day of. But the Thunder blew the Timberwolves out in Game 5, 124-94. They are headed to the NBA Finals. Congratulations to the Thunder. If all 7 of you Thunder fans, you're probably going to have an awesome time. This is great for the franchise. First time they made the playoff. First time they made the finals since 2012 because they choked versus the Warriors in 2016. But it's okay. I'm done taking stabs. I'm genuinely I'm genuinely happy for the organization. That's a lie. I'm not happy for the organization. That's just a lie. Congratulations, though. This has been a great season. 68 wins in the regular season, followed up by a pretty dominant postseason run. They were really only challenged by the Nuggets so far. We'll see what the Pacers or Knicks, if they can mount a comeback, are able to do versus them. But they've been the best team. They ended up in the finals. Do I think they got lucky that Jason Tatum's Achilles literally exploded and the Lakers don't have anyone over 7 feet tall with 4 brain cells? Probably, but there's always luck involved in every title run. There's always luck in one form or manner. We could talk about the 2022 Warriors. Everyone they played, their superstar was hurt. We could talk about, Jason Tatum, his ankle exploding, and the Miami Heat able to beat them. So there's nothing to take away. It's just what happens. They've been the healthiest team. They've been the best team, and they're in the playoffs. I'm sorry, they're in the finals. So that being said, we're going to talk about the Wolves. I have a lot to say about the Wolves. I will talk about it. I will have my little rant here in a little bit. But did Trae crown Ant-Man too soon? This guy said he's doing face of the league talks.
Dude,
player in the league talks.
No,
Do we think that Trae crowned him too soon, or even talked about it, even having him in the conversation?
No, I didn't. Bro, I stand by what I said. I still think he one day will be the face of the NBA. I mean, not right now, because right now it's LeBron and Curry. Right now, as we speak, it's LeBron and Curry. But here's the deal, man. This is a playoff set so far, in 2025. By the way, it averaged 31 points per game this year. 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 48% from the field, 34% from the three, averaging 1.8 steals per game, two blocks per game, and about 39 minutes played in the playoffs this season. Those are good stats, by the way. You have to admit that, Nick. Despite him, I know this past run against the Thunder was terrible. He wasn't more aggressive, and here's the deal. I still think one day he'll be the face of the NBA. The league's pushing him to do it. That's what Adam Silver does. That's what the NBA does. They see someone like Ant-Man, they're going to push him to be the face of the NBA. Look, they did it to Jordan. They did it to Kobe, to LeBron, to Magic Johnson and Bird. So they're pushing this guy to be in the face of the NBA. He has a game for it. Now, does he need to be more aggressive? Absolutely. I think he needs to stop being so passive of the ball. And I think this loss will actually help him overcome that, because I want this to motivate Ant-Man. Ant-Man played terrible. He had one good game this past series against the Thunder, and that was game 3. He had 30, 99 that game. So as far as Ant-Man, I didn't crown him too soon. I think he still might be. As between him and SGA for the future of the NBA, I think JT's Jason Tatum will be out for a while, and he might not even play that long, because here's the deal: Achilles injury will destroy your career.
Yep.
And you won't be the same player ever again.
We've only seen one guy ever look the same as KD. That's been it.
That's it. But he ain't Kevin Durant. So,
and yeah, he's definitely not KD. That's for sure.
Not KD. But look, not even Aaron Rodgers can't even come back be the same no more, and he's in his 40s. But I same with Jokic. Jokic, in my opinion, his finals runs is over in Denver. Same with Giannis. Same with who else is there? Devin Booker. He's done too. So the face of the NBA too soon depends on about Wemby's health. But no matter what, I still think the NBA is pushing Ant-Man to be the face of the NBA. I stand by what I said. I think he will be the face of the NBA soon. And maybe this will help him overcome that slouch. So
okay.
I still stand by what I said.
Jaden, what do you think, man?
So when we first had this conversation, I said that, he has the potential to be. And I still stand by that. I still think that he has that potential to be the next face of the NBA. And I also said that he still has a lot that he has to prove.
Yeah.
You know, you got all these other people who are the face of the NBA, they proved why they were the face of the NBA. And we just haven't seen that yet. He's great. He's a good player. I just think, we need to see, like y'all were talking about him, he needs to be more aggressive. I think he needs, he played great in in the playoffs. This last series, he kind of slowed down a little bit.
Yeah.
And,
I don't know why he was passing the ball.
People who are the face of the NBA, especially in their prime, they don't slow down in the playoffs. They keep playing hard. They don't give up. And we just didn't see that from him in this last series. So I still think he has that potential. I still think he has stuff to prove in order for him to be the face of the NBA. Like Trey said, they push certain people to be the face of the NBA, but if they do that, then they do that. But I think as far as, just a true, looking at it from the outside in, I think for him to be the face of the NBA, he's got more to prove still.
Right.
So those are all great points. I'm just gonna go ahead and say yes. Trey crowned him too early. He said he was going to be the face of the league too early. He said he had the potential to be the best player in the league too early. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to try to keep this short. I'm going to try my best. Ant-Man, you are not Magic Johnson, okay? You're not Magic Johnson. You're not the playmaker. You're not the best playmaker. Stop passing the ball like you're LeBron James, okay? Just look at this. This is pathetic. Pathetic. Are we ready?
Let me see. What is it?
And here's the issue, is we all think the Wolves are good. They have a good supporting cast. Julius Randle has been great up until the Thunder series, and he had a great game one. Jaden McDaniels is someone we all look at as a key championship piece. Rudy Gobert, while he has his limitations, is still a defensive player of the year candidate. Mike Conley is a veteran point guard presence. You got one of the best bench players off the league in Naz Reid, one of the best bench players in Dante DiVincenzo and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. They have a deep bench. They have a great head coach. So here's the issue. In a pseudo elimination game, because that's what basically game fours are when you're down 2-1, they're pseudo elimination games. In a game where your guys had it going, your supporting cast had it going. Jaden McDaniels had 22 on 15 shots, great efficiency. Dante DiVincenzo played his best game of the postseason, 21 off the bench. Nickeil Alexander-Walker couldn't miss a shot, 23 off the bench. You give your guys 16 points and 6 assists on 13 shots. You're not a playmaker, man. You can make plays, but you're not the primary playmaker for your team. That's just not what you're supposed to do. And then so you do that in a pseudo elimination game, and then in an actual elimination game today, you get embarrassed and blown off the floor by 30, and you have 19 points on 18 shots and two assists. So you can't even make plays then in 39 minutes, mind you. He played 39 minutes in a 30-point blowout. He couldn't even pad his stats. He just stinks. Okay. This guy's literally stinks right now. Okay. And I'm sorry, but if you're in face of the league talks, I can't watch you stink it up on national television. You stunk it up, man. When we talk about face of the league, and I'm going to bring up LeBron because it's just who we have to talk about because he's been the face of the league for 50 years. When you're LeBron James, in a very similar way to this, it's not exactly the same because the Thunder are very good, but LeBron was playing against a past championship team in 2007, the Detroit Pistons, who were 2 years removed from a championship. And a lot of people thought that they were going to go back and, contest the Spurs and try to win a championship again. I mean, look at this. And I mean, this is a team with Rasheed Wallace, who a lot of people think is the best defender ever, who have him top 5 and at least top 10. You have Tayshaun Prince, who in his prime was a fantastic defender and a great player. Chris Webber, who's a first overall pick. He was older at this point, but he still was efficient and was able to help this team out. Chauncey Billups, who's a Finals MVP. Richard Hamilton, who's one of the best players in Pistons history. Like, obviously Isaiah Thomas is the best, but some great players. And in a game 5, okay, it was tied 2-2. The Pistons starters go, Rasheed had 17, Tayshaun had 10, Chris Webber had 20, Chauncey Billups had 21, Rip Hamilton had 26. They had 5 guys in double figures, and then Jason Maxwell off the bench had 9, and in almost double digits there. This was LeBron James's teammates in this game. 16 points from the big Z, Zydrunas Ilgauskas, who's just a fantastic player. The greatest Cavalier ever, Larry Hughes, had 9 points. Sasha Pavlovich had 6 points on 10 shots. Drew Gooden had 7 points on 10 shots. And the best off the bench was Anderson Varejao, who had 9 points. And then LeBron went for 48, 9, and 7 and scored 25 straight points for the Pistons. That is what I want to see from Ant-Man, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry if that's too lofty of an expectation, but if you want to be the face of the league, you got to show me something like that. LeBron was 22 when this happened. This was a great Pistons team, the best defense in the league. They were looking to go back and try to win a championship again after they had fallen short in 2006. And LeBron outplayed a championship roster by himself.
Yeah.
The Thunder are not a championship team. What I mean by that is they're not a former champion. They're obviously in the championship. They're a championship caliber team, but they're not a former champion. No one on that team's proven that they can win a championship yet. They might win it. We'll see what happens. But Ant-Man, you played pretty good in the West in the semis last year when you beat Joker. I think the game 7 wasn't really that impressive. He wasn't great statistically. He was played great on defense on Jamal Murray. But I want to see you do this. You got punked by Luka Doncic. Punked. He made you a little boy. Okay, you get punked by Luka last year because he had someone over 7 feet tall who had a brain. So he punked you. And then this year you get punked by SGA, outplayed thoroughly by SGA. Back-to-back years, you get punked by people who are supposed to be your peers. Okay, these are guys that are challenging you to become the face of the league. And you got punked both times, lost in 5. That's embarrassing. You can't be the face of the league and do that. I know you don't want to be the face of the league. Maybe that's good for you. Maybe you can't handle it. Maybe you can't take the pressure. No one ever compared this guy to Michael Jeffrey Jordan ever again. Okay? Ever. And I have my qualms with MJ. I still think he's the second best player ever in terms of legacy. Don't ever compare this guy to Kobe again. Don't ever compare this guy to MJ again. I don't want to hear none of that. This guy's closer to like Lance Stevenson than he is to Michael Jordan. Okay. So let's just stop it.
Crazy.
Let's just stop it, man.
Right there, man.
Let's just stop it. I've seen guys who are undermanned. You can look at 2014 Pacers. Paul George, young guy, pushed LeBron to 7. Pushed him to 7. Made him work for it. Made LeBron. Victor Oladipo in 2018, young player. He would have been awesome if his thigh didn't explode, but it literally exploded and he was never the same again. Saw him with a good team, probably not as good as actually. That's a lie. That Pacers team was definitely better than the 2018 Cavs. 2018 Cavs was like me, Jaden, and Trey and LeBron, and that was it. But it was against LeBron James, and he pushed him to 7. Can I get that from Ant-Man against these guys? Like, that's all I'm asking for. He's not playing against prime LeBron. He's playing against SJ and Luka, who are great players, but they're not prime LeBron. So you can't push him to 7 or make him work for it. He's roll over. Oh, I wasn't struggling. I didn't take enough shots to struggle. Yeah, because you're not Magic Johnson. Oh, well, he gets double teamed. It's really hard to deal with double teams. I saw LeBron get triple teamed the moment he walked across the court in the 2010 game 1 versus Boston. It happens. He scored 48 that game, by the way, or 45 or something like that. It happens. Work through it. Become better. Develop a mid-range game. Your mid-range stinks, Ant-Man. It stinks. When you drive, everyone knows you're going to the cup. because you're not going to stop and pull up a mid-range jump shot. You rely too much on the three. You rely too much on your ability to get to the basket. You have to be able to make some work on a post game, work on some fadeaways, work on some mid-range shots. It's exactly what LeBron did in 2012 after the 2011 finals that he lost, and he was the best player that we've ever seen in our entire lives for the next 10 years. I'm done. Sorry.
Yeah, I agree with you because that game, by the way, in 2007 was unbelievable. I mean, he was 22. He got triple teamed too. LeBron got triple teamed the whole game. You know what LeBron did? He got a screen, and then he pulled for a jumper, or he goes to the hole. So yeah, I mean,
you know who didn't get double teamed? MJ, because it wasn't allowed. But anyways, continue.
I mean, it actually wasn't 1990, but okay. So it's a tie. Anyways, here's the deal, okay? Ant-Man, step up your game. I prove Nick Rankin wrong. Prove Jaden wrong apparently. And prove me wrong a little bit because this series you did terrible, man.
Terrible. He's awful.
I mean, yes, like I said before, Jaden, last week. So Stephen A. Smith interviews him last year around this time. Stephen A. asked him a question. Do you believe you're the best player in the league right now? Like up there as young players. You say, yeah. Me and Luka and SGA. He said this, and then he gave Stephen A. He told Stephen A. this. I'm better than both though. But apparently, the last night's game was terrible. And this tonight's game was awful too. So Ant-Man, step up your game. I believe in you. Everyone back the talk up, bro. Back it up. Don't be a yapper and get punked. So back it up, Ant-Man. Back up your stuff.
Yeah.
Let your game speak for yourself.
Right now, if his game spoke for itself, we would not like what we're hearing. Moving on, since we're talking about the face of the league, Charles Barkley, he did say that SGA and Jokic are the faces of the league right now. Let's just make this one fast. He's full of nonsense. How many SGA and Jokic jerseys have you seen in your life?
Dude, none. I don't know anybody that wears one.
I don't know anyone that owns one. I've never seen anyone outside of Oklahoma City and Denver have a Jokic or SGA jersey. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. It's obviously still LeBron James. And if you want to do co-face of the league, it's LeBron and Curry. And there's no one that's even remotely close to their level right now in terms of face of the league. So just stop it.
And look at this too. Look at the Instagram followers. Who follows more, LeBron James or SGA? It's LeBron James.
By like 100 million. But
yeah,
whatever.
Behind him is Steph Curry. Chuck just hates LeBron, so I ain't surprised to say that.
Yeah.
And he has LeBron top 7, by the way.
Yeah, well, we don't have to talk about that. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. So, Jaden, you got any thoughts on that, or it's just
it's just stupid.
Yeah,
dude, that's just hate. That's hate, man. Even Skip Bayless knows the biggest LeBron hitter ever. That LeBron's the face of the NBA.
Yeah, I mean it's absolutely true. That he is. So, dude, I'm just gonna be angry because Trey puts these questions in here that make me angry. MJ's agent said that LeBron cherry-picked his teams to be in the GOAT combo. What are y'all's thoughts on this?
Okay. So here's the deal, okay? I get it. Jordan didn't recruit anybody. He actually did recruit one player. That was Dennis Rodman, by the way, in 1995 after he got bounced out by Orlando in the playoffs. Second round, by the way, too. Because he lost Horace Grant. Horace Grant was that rebounder / defender who I set the tone for the game, the playmaker especially. So, he recruited Dennis Rodman. Okay. Yes. The NBA has always had super teams no matter what. It always has. I mean, look at, for example, in 1979 NBA draft. It was they wanted Kareem and Magic together. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar recruited Magic Johnson to be a Laker, and they won 5 rings with him in the 80s. Okay. Shaquille O'Neal recruited Kobe Bryant and as a rookie, by the way, to be his co-star, and he won 3-peat with Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant requested a trade from L to Chicago, by the way, and you know what he got? Pau Gasol. So by cherry picking, what does that even mean? By like, is he want to pick people's players, bro? Is that what he means, right? Like, get people's players, like their own players and stuff like that.
Yeah, like choosing where you want to go, like picking players and stuff like that.
Well, here's the deal: Miami Heat had a win chip in like 6 years. LeBron saved that franchise. When he left Cleveland, Cleveland literally died. The whole team was awful. They had the first number one pick twice with Kyrie Irving and Andrew Wiggins. Unfortunately, Andrew Wiggins got traded back to Minnesota, part of the trade deal with LeBron. And then on top of that, okay, and now look at this. The Lakers. Lakers hadn't won an NBA championship in 10 years. You know what LeBron did? He brought them a ring.
Mm-hmm.
He's elevated players beyond limits. Look at Kyrie Irving. Look at Kyrie without LeBron. He's terrible. Never made it to the playoffs for 1 year, and that was like when he was in Brooklyn. Okay, look at AD. AD before he went to the Lakers hadn't make the playoffs at all. So, and here's the deal. Yes, Michael Jordan could have recruited anybody he wanted to, but that's his fault. If Jordan recruited Magic and Bird or Chuck or Shaq, sure, they would have probably won like 12 championships, and the gold debate probably wouldn't have happened right now. But it's the era people live in. So if you have a problem with that, then I don't know what to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jenny, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if LeBron truly cherry picked his teams, I feel like yeah, he would. In my opinion, if you're cherry picking your teams, you're trying to make superstar just teams. But I mean, if you look, his entire career with the Cavs, he played with people who, I mean, I know he's probably talking about more recently, but I mean, if you look at his history with the Cavs, if he was cherry picking, wouldn't he want to get literally everybody that's good and put them on his team so that way he can stack rings?
Yeah.
And, and then this season, he got Luka, and that's great, but I don't think, that's him cherry picking because, maybe he plays some role in who is and isn't on the team, but I think that, if you look at his entire career, if I'm cherry picking, I'm trying to get the best of the best so that way I can, stack all of these rings and stack all these achievements and championships, for myself. But, throughout his career, he's played with people who he literally had to carry.
Yep.
And he won.
Yeah.
And if you want to go and say, well, he played with bad people so that way he can make himself look good, then that's just stupid. But yeah, no, that's just a wild comment.
Yeah, and real quick before Nick goes, 2010, this last year is the first year as a Cav. Yeah, Mo Williams was the starting point guard. Shooting guard was Anthony Parker. Power forward was Antoine Jameson. As the center was a 38-year-old Shaq with a broken Achilles. So go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, I just have some. This I just really want to bring to light. So he joined the Heat in the 2010. Or I'm sorry, the 2010-2011 season. So before that season, here was the Heat won in 2005, 2006. This was their next couple years until that LeBron showed up. So they lost in the first round versus the Bulls the next year. They didn't make the playoffs the years after. They lost to the Hawks the years after that. They lost to the Celtics the year before in the first round, the year before LeBron showed up. And then they went finals. They won 2 out of those 4. And then as soon as LeBron left, they did not make a NBA finals again until 2019, 2020. Going to the Lakers. So he goes to the Lakers after the Heat. I'm sorry, after the we'll do the Cavs first, actually. So the Cavs, the first time, so LeBron gets drafted, they miss the playoffs, then they go playoffs, finals. As soon as LeBron leaves, they miss the playoffs, they miss the playoffs 4 straight years. LeBron shows back up. They go finals. They win one of those years versus the Warriors. And then LeBron leaves and they miss 4 straight finals again until they're able to make it again in 2022, 2023. Let's look at the Lakers. So LeBron, this is all cherry picked, right? You know, because LeBron went to great teams who, you know, were winning a lot before he got there, according to MJ's agent. So the Lakers go playoffs 2012, 2013. It was the first round versus the Spurs, and they miss 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight playoffs.
All right.
Until LeBron was able to get there and actually have a full year with the team. And then they, you know, they win the finals. So LeBron joins a team who hadn't made the playoffs in 6 years, a team who hadn't made the playoffs since he left, and a team who was in flux and wasn't able to do anything for 6 years. But he cherry-picked his teams. Okay, sure, whatever.
And real quick, in 2014, D-Wade averaged 15 points per game. In the finals, by the way, 15 points per game, 3 rebounds and 5 assists in 2014 NBA Finals.
D-Wade was horrible.
He had broken knees, too. He had a broken knee.
He was done.
He was washed up already. So.
Yeah. No, he was done. Chris Bosh wasn't great. And real quick for the super team things, a lot of people say LeBron started the super teams. I have relatives who said the same thing. I know I have a lot of friends that say the same things. The first, I guess, quote unquote super team, if you want to call it, because there's been super teams before. I think Kareem going to the Lakers, Wilt going to the Lakers. There's a lot of times when there's super teams, but you know, just it doesn't matter unless it's LeBron. The first actual super team in the modern era that was made was when the Celtics got prime KG and prime Ray Allen to pair with Paul Pierce. They did that to stop LeBron. And then, you know, since LeBron cherry picks his teams, he decided to go to a Heat team who I think a lot of people don't realize how like not great that a lot of those Heatles teams were outside of LeBron, D-Wade, and Bosh, especially that first year where they lost to the
Mavs.
The Mavs. That team was not very good at all in terms of, you know, what they're able to do. I'm just gonna go through the roster here. You guys let me know how fantastic you think this roster is, and I'll we'll talk about it. So I'm just gonna go from the top to bottom. Joel Anthony, Carlos Arroyo, Mike Bibby, Chris Bosh, Mario Chalmers, Eric Dampier, Udonis Haslem, Eddie House, Jawan Howard, Zildrunas Ilgauskas, because he's always where LeBron is for some reason. LeBron, James Jones, Jamal Magalore, Mike Miller, Dexter Pittman, Jerry Stackhouse, and D-Wade. If that's a super team, then I don't know, man. Whatever. But anyways, yeah, that's ridiculous. But we're gonna move on here.
Austin Stover says hi.
Austin Stover, hello, Austin Stover. Welcome in. Oh my goodness! Wow, I notice you. I see you. Wow, amazing. I'm so glad you're here, buddy. Thank you for being here. I'm a little angry today. I apologize. For that, but we're gonna try to move past my anger and focus on the good things like LeBron James.
Who's Austin Stover?
You know who Austin Stover is? Wow.
Isn't that like the Carringtons?
Yeah, that's their cousin.
Oh, that's right. Okay, okay, I remember now.
I'm sorry, Austin. Trey doesn't even know who you are.
I remember him.
I know who you are. And
we have a goat in the comments, and Trey doesn't even know.
Hey, I know. We got a young goat in the comments. Trey doesn't even know. While we were gone, though, SGA did win the MVP. So just What do you guys think about that?
A free throw merchant. That's what he is. Look at this, guys. This season alone, he averaged 8 point rebound, 8 point free throws a game. So that's why he won his scoring title. That's why he won MVP. So there you go. Go ahead, Nick or Jaden.
Tim, go ahead.
I mean, we all had him for, if I'm not mistaken, we all had him in the running for MVP.
Yeah.
And I think it was deserved. I mean, despite what anybody says about him, I think he played really well this season, and I think he's very deserving of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think he deserved it. The one issue I have with the whole MVP thing is it's getting really weird because I think Luka should have won last year and Joker won, and I think Joker should have won this year, but I don't have any sympathy for him because he won last year in a year I don't think he should have won. But regardless, SGA's team won 68 games. He averaged 33 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. I think he's a flopper, and I think he's a bit of a ref merchant. But regardless of that, he played fantastic. He was on the best team statistically, and I think is a deserved MVP. We'll see what happens. We'll see if he's able to keep it going, maybe go back to back, and see what the Thunder team's able to do in this era. But we'll segue into the next topic here. The last 7 players who won MVP have all been international players. Let me pull up the MVP. I'm going to pull up the last couple MVPs here. So we got SGA this year, Joker last year, Joel Embiid the year before, Joker, Giannis, and then Harden in 2018, which should have been LeBron, but whatever. That's been the last couple. That's been 7. I mean, that's 7 straight years of, because SGA's Canadian, Joker's from Serbia, Joel Embiid is from
So I think he's from Africa, right?
Yeah, I think he's from Cameroon or something like that. Giannis is from Greece. So it's been, that's been a lot of I mean, what do you guys think it is? I mean, is this a sign of that the international game has been able to develop young players better, or do you think it's just kind of just been how it's been going? Because if you look back before 2019, you have to go a long time till you find someone who was not from the United States who won it. So what do you guys think?
I think it's both. I think it's globalizing the game for sure because I think look at this, okay? Like you have Ginobili, you have Parker, and then you have SGA, Jokic, and it's just evolving too. But at the same time, though, I think it's something to do with the way Americans teach basketball because, I've kind of covered high school sports too this year. And I kind of watch things around like highlight stuff like that from either from Channel 4 here in Amarillo or Channel 10. And it's just about all they do is shoot threes now. And I think the fundamentals kind of have gone away too of the game. So I mean, Kobe Bryant kind of warned us about this before when he was alive. He kind of said that, the American teacher is kind of stupid now. People are dribbling the ball forever now, and it's cute and all that stuff, but it just depends about how I think it's a little bit of coaching too, than the that and also the game evolving too internationally because basketball is growing big time, man. In my opinion, it's better than soccer, but we won't go there.
I don't know if it necessarily has anything to do with, the fact that they're international. It's like, I just think, the league is so diverse.
Yeah.
And, just because, just because the Americans aren't winning, I don't think it means that it says anything about them. I just think, there's so many people that play in the NBA who are not from America, and I basically just said the same thing twice without saying the same thing twice. But you know, I just think, with how the diverse league is, it's not shocking that they're all international.
Yeah. How many international players were like even remotely this good in the 90s? Can you guys help me out with that?
There were 7 international players. Now there's 15.
There's definitely more than 15.
Something I don't know. Stephen A. said
I'm talking about like good international players.
I think Tony Kukoc was one.
Whose team was he on?
Jordan.
Oh, what? He was on Jordan's team? What?
Okay.
Wow, that's crazy. Wow. No, wow, that's crazy. Wow. Anyways,
who's Nick Russ?
I just have no idea. I guess I don't know. Who is that guy?
What's up, Q?
What are these guys saying? Do you think they look at each other? Or are they too focused on looking in each other's eyes? I think they hate their viewers. No, Q, I love you sometimes. Q, shout out to the questionable Q. There's your shout out. So stop being so angry.
Yeah, stop being someone that we know, that I know especially.
Yeah. So, anyways, it's just really interesting to me that the game's evolved to that level where we got international players winning MVP, and back in the 90s it was like none of that. But whatever. No, I think it's just there's really good players across the world. The best American player stinks. His name's Anthony Edwards. He's horrible. So we're in a tough spot. Cooper Flag, please save us. Maybe Paulo Banchero will evolve into something even better than he is now. But for right now, Tyrese Halliburton, Jalen Brunson, some guys like that who we have an opportunity to make a stamp on the league. But right now, American players, all we got's Ant and Jason Tatum. So it's cooked. We're going to go over to our glorious humble king, LeBron James, our glorious sunshine here. We're going to talk about him a little more. He did get second team All-NBA. He got 6th in MVP voting. I don't think anyone actually realizes. We said your name, Austin. We said your name. We said your name earlier. So don't even worry, man. But shout out to Austin Stover, who Trey doesn't know apparently.
I don't know who he is now.
It's all right. No, I don't think people actually realize how insane it is that LeBron got second team All NBA and he was 6th in MVP voting, and he's like old enough to be all of our dads. That's just a little crazy. I mean, what do you guys think this means for him and for his impeccable legacy?
Jenny, go first, bro.
I think it means he's the GOAT.
That's right.
Yeah. Being his age and still being, this in, being 6th and for the MVP.
That's kind of crazy.
There's a lot of people who, are around his age in the league still, and they aren't even in the conversation for MVP. LeBron wasn't necessarily in the conversation, but he got 6th. So I just think that, he's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Oh, my turn. Okay.
Yeah, it's your turn.
I think that he could have won MVP if he didn't get hurt. I still think he could have won, but he got hurt in the middle of the season. The tie for me is still the GOAT, but well, congrats to LeBron, man. Congrats, man.
Yeah, Q brought up he said the unvaulted clips. We talked about that at the beginning of the show. I brought it up. #open the vault. There's LeBron's been dominating the league for so long. Some of these open the vault clips are grainy. They look like they were recorded on a toaster. because LeBron has been
I don't know,
so.
I've never seen my life, and they're pretty.
I mean, LeBron's so good. He has a highlight dunk in 144p and a highlight dunk in 4K. That's how long he's been dominating. That's how long he's been good. This is just another, another trophy for his trophy case. I know you don't actually get a trophy for it, but you know what I mean? Like another big part of his legacy, being on second team All NBA in year 40, sixth in MVP voting at year 40. I mean, we got LeBron jumping over guys. We got LeBron unlocking Shaq's dunk package. LeBron pulling up Hezzy from half court. Hezzy pull-ups in high school in 2002 when nobody even knew what a Hezzy pull-up was. This guy's legendary. He's
And I will say this, though, he did
goat.
beat a 40-year-old Jordan that no one wants to show.
It's 38-year-old Jordan. If you reverse the roles, 16-year-old Jordan versus 38-year-old LeBron, that would not go great. But I mean, this guy's he's the GOAT for a reason. Moving over to his teammate though, Luka. There's a lot of pictures. Everyone's saying Luka's going to get in shape. What do you guys think is the key for? What do you guys think is the key for Luka to be able to take the step that he needs to take to get back to the finals next year?
I think Luka needs to really keep it consistent. Either also on the road too, because when you're at home, sure you can go work out, you can go get some shots in, but if you're on the road, you gotta maintain your diet and the way you play. For example, LeBron James, he's been good this year, this whole career, because every time he's strict on his diet, he works out even the opposing team's gym. So I just think Luka needs to work on his defense too. I agree with Quentin about that. So yeah, I think maybe training with LeBron, and he'll probably get you in shape.
Yeah,
he definitely will.
Yeah, and I think I feel like we saw a pretty decent transition. When he went to the Lakers, I feel like they started conditioning him really well. He does need to shape up on his defense, but I think that training with LeBron, I think if he just really locks in this offseason just on his conditioning and his exercise and diet, I think he's got a good shot to perform really well this next season.
Yeah. Luka, man, just play basketball. You're a great player. I want to see you moving the way you're moving in your first couple of years. You're with the greatest conditioned athlete of this generation, maybe ever, in LeBron. You got a guy who's playing at an extremely high level at the age of 40, who's been able to keep his body right and avoid major injury outside of Solomon Hill taking a nosedive into his ankles for most of his career. There was a point where LeBron made 9 straight finals. You can't do that unless you're able to stay healthy. I mean, he was. You can learn a lot from him. Hopefully, he's able to do so. He doesn't have to worry about the Texas barbecue anymore. He will have to worry about the LA street food. So we'll see if he's able to overcome that.
Oh, checking the box.
Yeah. We'll see what happens if he's able to do that. Quentin said Lewis Hamilton is the GOAT of F1. No, he's not, but it's fine. We could talk about that later. Maybe I have to get Q on the pod to talk about that, since you guys start eating food and snoring when I talk about F1. So, yeah, we'll definitely have to discuss that. But yeah, I think he's got a chance to be great again. So, and then staying on this topic, because there's a lot of stuff to talk about, because LeBron's face of the league, so we got to talk about him some more, because there's not much else to talk about other than Ant-Man stinks at basketball. But LeBron is expected to opt into his contract. I believe it's a $53 million player option that he's going to opt into. What do you guys think this means? Do you think that this is going to be his last year? Because typically he would opt out and sign a 2 or 3 year contract. So do you guys think this means that this next year will be the last for LeBron?
No, it ain't be the last year, LeBron. I heard reports he might play with Bryce James, maybe. Here's the deal. Sean's been saying that for like 5 years now. So Sean needs to shut up about his crap and actually cover the NBA so that want to push LeBron out. He's done it for 5 years now. It's annoying. Woj never did that one time. I still, in my opinion, Brian Windhorst should be inside the league insider instead of Shams. But you know what? Ain't gonna go there yet. So I think he'll probably play a couple more seasons. You know what? I think LeBron should play how many long years he wants to play in the NBA. I'm not gonna give you seasons. He ain't slowing down number one. He ain't slowing down. I mean, yeah, a little bit. I think the Olympics kind of hurt him a little bit because he didn't have a good offseason. Because here's what LeBron does. I've read articles about LeBron's offseason, and is that he rests in the first month of June, and then towards July, August, September, he gets in shape again, gets his conditioning going, gets treatments going. That's how he's been able to dominate for this long in the NBA. So I think I think he'll play probably 3 seasons to max, but you know what? It's up to LeBron though. I don't want him to see him retire because I probably cry on the podcast, and I think we all will. But it's up to LeBron. I mean, I think Shams needs to shut up though.
I think the reason he didn't sign, a multi-year contract is because I think he doesn't know.
Yeah.
I think that, because, I think he could play, a few more seasons if he really wanted to.
Yeah,
but
good, yeah.
He doesn't, if he locks himself into a 3-year contract and then he's like in year 2 or year 1, he's like, no, I'm done. Like, I don't want to do this. Then it kind of just puts him in a place he doesn't want to be. So I just think I think he'll keep doing that. I don't think he'll sign any more multi-year contracts.
Yeah.
I think it'll just be seasonal, by season. And, when he's done, he's done. It's crazy to talk about the end of his career because by the way he plays, it doesn't look like he's getting close to that. But
yeah, I know.
He can only play for so long and he can only want to play for so long. So I think that, I think he's only doing this just because, he doesn't know when he wants to retire and when he wants to be done, but he doesn't want to put himself in a place where he can't retire when he wants to.
Yeah. I think he's absolutely capable of continuing to play. I mean, this was his stats this year: 70 games played, 24.4 points on 51% shooting, 37% from 3, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. That's not someone who's not able to play the game. I know there's a cult of Kobe fans on Twitter that love to say that LeBron is a bum and then he needs to retire and the Lakers will win a championship when he retires. Okay, whatever. Kobe fans are some of the worst ever, unfortunately, but that's the way it goes. But LeBron is capable of continuing to play, and I think I agree with Jaden. I don't think he knows. I don't think he knows if he wants to play with Bryce yet. I think that there's a chance that he is signing these 1 years so that when Bryce goes to the league, he's able to go to Bryce's team. If Bryce even is able to make the NBA, I'm not sure if he's able to do so yet. But if he is, then he'll go there. And I also think that he does want to end his career in Cleveland. I think he might do his farewell tour in Cleveland potentially. Maybe not. Maybe he just stays with the Lakers the whole time. But yeah, he's definitely still capable of being a championship level player. So I think he's going to play a couple more seasons.
I do think that back to the GOAT debate. Like, I do think he wants to end it. I think he wants to end the debate for sure. Like winning another chip, especially that, because he's hungry for a chip, man. I mean, he has better chance of winning a chip than Curry does and KD combined. Because their teams they're on, they suck. And Jimmy Butler was awful in the second round, by the way. And KD might not even win a chip ever again after going to State. So I think LeBron was in the. Well, I think LeBron wants to end the debate too.
Yeah. If he wins any kind of championship over past the age of 40, I just never want to hear anyone utter Michael Jordan's name ever again in my face, ever. Like, just stop. But that being said, one more NBA topic, then we'll move on. I know we are going a little long. We had a lot to talk about. There's this guy on TikTok. They call him, I think it's just Basketball Unk. I don't know. He was on a podcast and he said that one of the guys questioned him, was like, you say like the athletes are way better today than they were in the 90s. And he said, well, Kenny Smith, he passed the ball between his legs off the backboard and dunked it backwards. He was doing that in the 90s. And if you've seen the TikTok video, they immediately play it. It's basically a reverse dunk with extra steps. I've seen better dunks in rec basketball. I go play basketball at TTU, Texas Tech University rec. Sometimes I see people yamming way harder and way more aggressive and way more athletic than Kenny Smith did in that dunk contest. Obviously guys are more athletic today. That's just the way it goes. I've seen LeBron jump from the free throw line mid-game. I've seen Zach LaVine do a East Bay from the free throw line. I've seen Aaron Gordon do completely jump over his mascot and put the ball under his legs and yam it. I've seen Mac McClung do the most ridiculous stuff I've ever seen. So yeah, it's obviously guys are better today than they were in the 90s. It's just the way it goes. I'm sorry if you're you grew up in the 90s watching basketball and you're really nostalgia biased. I implore you to go back and watch some games. Specifically, the 91 finals and the 98 finals are some of the worst basketball I've ever seen with my own eyes. I think Drake is in the chat. I'm pretty sure Big Mike would go out there and whoop up on those dudes in the 90s. Big Mike is a player that I see at the rec sometimes. And I'm pretty sure Big Mike would put a body on a lot of these NBA players. But I just, no, man, I'm done. We're done with that. I respect the 90s and what it means for basketball. The game grew a lot in the 90s. Let's not even pretend that guys are remotely as close to as good or as skilled as they are now compared to when they were in the 90s. We're done with that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I must say, I should be banned from talking basketball.
He has LeBron as the GOAT, which is his only saving grace, but he holds on to the 90s a bit too much.
Yeah,
so.
he actually does. Yeah, and he says that, he said too, this team that played in the Olympics can beat the 92, cannot beat the dream team of 92. Those were his exact words.
Yeah, I just the Redeem team or the Avengers, whichever team you want to choose, would run the dream team off the court. Bad. Larry Bird was old and decrepit. Yeah, I don't want to hear any of that. But I mean, yeah.
That's said.
Yeah. So we're gonna move on from basketball here. We're gonna talk a little bit of some other things as we wrap up here. Hopefully, able to wrap up here in the next couple minutes. But the Steelers said they're interested in Kirk Cousins and in Aaron Rodgers. Who do you guys think they should get?
Get Kirk Cousins, man. Get Kirk Cousins. He's not a diva. You actually go to OTAs and mini training camps because Aaron Rodgers won't do that. He's never done that one time in his career, by the way. Never once done that before. So if I'm the Steelers, get Kirk Cousins because number one, he has some good numbers last season, and Aaron Rodgers is a terrible leader. So if I'm the Steelers, I'll get Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're looking more long term, you definitely want to get Kirk Cousins.
Yeah,
because Aaron Rodgers, this could be his last season, and
I think he should retire already. But
yeah. So yeah, I think that for them, I think they'd be better off with Kirk, but who knows?
Yeah, no, I
oh man, that's freaking funny.
Sorry, that's uncalled for. That's totally uncalled for. I apologize. No, I definitely I would go with Kirk Cousins. He's proven that he can be stable. Aaron Rodgers is just drama and it's not gonna end well. So I definitely agree with both of you guys. One more thing in the NFL, as the season is ramping up, I find it really hard to get excited for football this year because I am unfortunately a fan of the Dallas Cowboys, which means I hate my life and I hate football and I hate watching it. And the Chiefs of course decide to choke versus my most hated team, the Eagles, and they just stunk it up in the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, after I glazed Mahomes and called him the GOAT, which I've since walked back, unfortunately. But the tush push, they voted to keep the tush push after all reporting said they were going to vote to ban it. What do you guys think? Do you guys think this is good for the game? What do you guys think this could lead to?
I think it's good for the game because it says unstoppable move that no one can really stop unless you're the Commanders, but or even the Cowboys. They tried it a few times and they suck. The tush push. The Eagles just have a good offensive line for it, and they have really really good quarterback too. They is pretty built. So I kind of hate the move too, but just figure out a way to stop it. Just figure out a way. Quick complaining about it. So go ahead, Jaden.
Yeah, I think it is a very broken play.
Yeah, I hate it. Don't get me wrong, but
maybe there's a way you modify it. I don't know. I don't know if there is a way to stop it, but I just think that if they want to keep it, let them keep it. Whatever. People are still gonna watch.
Yeah, people are still gonna watch. The Cowboys are still gonna suck, and the Chiefs are still gonna choke versus the Eagles. So it doesn't really matter. I like if people start doing it on first and second down, they'll ban it. But the problem is that nobody really gets injured from it. If people do start getting injured from it, they'll ban it because if it's a safety concern. But right now, there's no reason to ban it other than it's not fun to watch. The way they could ban it is say two runners at the same time can't be pushing behind a quarterback. But who does that mean that the Eagles won't still be the best at quarterback sneaks? I mean, they still might get it anyways, even without the pushing because of how strong Jalen Hurts is. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens. If every team starts developing a tush push that's as good, then they'll probably start talking about it. But I know the Packers voted the Cowboys. Travis said the Cowboys look good in OTAs. Okay, my grandma looks good in OTAs. That doesn't mean jack. George Pickens one-handed catching an OTA doesn't mean anything because Dak's going to overthrow it, and then George Pickens is going to be fighting the DB, and then CeeDee Lamb's going to say some nonsense. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. It's absolutely wild. That being said, I don't think anyone's gonna pull it. Q said, I never liked basketball. I like basketball, but never claimed to be good. That wasn't me. I didn't say that. I don't know who said that. I don't know who Nicholas Rankin is. That wasn't me though. Travis said he worked with Dak. He was throwing 209-yard bombs into my breadbasket. Was this before or after you hit a crazy line of coke? What was this?
Oh man.
So and Drake said, honestly, ever since the Falcons switched to the 3 eggplant defense and started letting their kickers call audibles, the quantum stats have just not been the same. Yeah, man, I think ever since they switched to the 3 eggplant, that's been a little much. I know Ant-Man, not the horrible basketball player, but the actual Ant-Man from the MCU. He was in the quantum realm when this was happening, so it's kind of crazy. But anyways, the show is degrading, so we're gonna move on before it absolutely falls apart. Trey wants to talk about Charlie Woods winning a TaylorMade Invitational. He did win a TaylorMade Invitational. I believe he shot 6 under in the final round. Do you guys think this kid has any chance to be a great golfer one day?
I don't know. I think he will, but I think because of the pressure from his dad, like the people bring him up with Tiger Woods, so depends on the pressure. So that's how I see it. Depends on the pressure of because he has the name Woods as his last name, so it depends on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure too, because you have it's Woods, and you have his dad's the greatest golfer ever.
Yeah. He may not want it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if he does. He's not great amongst his peers. He's not a top golfer amongst his peers. That doesn't mean he can't be a great golfer one day. His last name is Woods. That's a lot of pressure. Michael Jordan's kids' last name was Jordan, and they just love to drink and drive. So, I mean, I'm not saying Charlie's going to do that, but there's a lot of pressure when you're, when you are associated with all-time greats. So, yeah, he just drank and drive and hit on Laura Pippen, and that's kind of all he ever did. So that being said, he's definitely got all the resources you want if you want to become a great golfer. I mean, his dad is the greatest ever. He'll have access to everything he's ever wanted in terms of training and recovery and, facilities and all that. So he has everything working against him, but it's just going to be his ability to actually live up to that last name. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I apologize for the Michael Jordan child strays. I couldn't help myself. So as we wrap things up here, our final topic is going to be, so the Knicks will move back to the NBA. If the Knicks lose tomorrow will be the final broadcast of Inside the NBA on TNT. I'm going to let Trey do this one. I'll do that one first, then Jaden, and then I'll talk because it might not be quite as nice. So what are your thoughts about TNT going away from basketball, NBC coming in, Amazon coming in, and Inside the NBA being on ESPN? What do you guys think?
Right. So since I'm in sports media, I kind of have a realm about this stuff. So Amazon is terrible in sports, like for real.
Like Thursday Night Football on?
No, they have terrible games. The marketing sucks. So yeah, like the Cowboys versus the Giants, really. Yeah, the freaking I don't know the Broncos versus the Raiders. They're gonna play terrible games, and I'm like, dude, who's gonna watch that crap? If I here's the deal. That's just my opinion about that. Amazon Prime is good for streaming shows and movies and whatnot. Sports though is just go away from it, man. I mean, you have Al Michaels who is kind of washed out now because he has Kirk Herbstreit as his co-host. Like, dude, Kirk is good for college football, but not for NFL. And you also have you have Sherman too on halftime, and they're just terrible, man. It's gonna suck. And so their ratings might plummet big time. As far as NBC, I kind of knew it would come back at one point because we had because now they're bringing in Jordan as a special contributor. Also, they have in my opinion, they should get rid of Mike Tirico and get Kevin Harlan on NBC because Mike Tirico is kind of annoying sometimes. His voice is just annoying in my book. So yeah, I don't think Amazon will be good for basketball, and I think NBC should get rid of what's his face, Mike Tirico. Now ESPN on TNT. Oh no, ESPN on Inside the NBA. I mean, I think it'll be good, but I think they have to watch out a little bit what they say now because this is Disney, and Disney does not play around. They have standards.
Mm-hmm.
So they can't just say crap on the air now because this is now Disney, bro. Yeah, Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, gonna fire them probably. So as far as that, I know, I don't think they'll get fired.
Dude, Chuck can't say none of that crazy stuff no more, man.
He can't.
So you got two dudes banging on you. They just
I mean, don't be like. I mean, look at Whoopi from The View. Her charitable show. Over doing saying crap too.
Oh my word, bro.
So I just think that you just can't say crazy stuff like that. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's my thoughts.
Yeah, it's gonna happen though. They're gonna forget that they're.
Oh, they
They're
definitely
gonna
will.
forget they're on ESPN.
They're
They
definitely gonna
They're gonna
forget.
forget that they have Mickey Mouse watching them.
Yeah, they are. Jaden, I mean, do you have any thoughts on that before I launch on it?
I just don't think that Amazon is a great idea.
Awful, bro. It's freaking awful.
I think that there's going to be a lot of lagging and crashing and
Yeah, it's gonna suck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
likely. So I have so Amazon does kind of stink. I won't lie. Amazon's not the greatest thing in the world.
For sports, especially for sports.
But I think that I'm not the biggest. So when it comes to basketball analysis, I'm not a huge fan of Inside the NBA. I don't think they're great for basketball analysis. I think they're a great comedy show. They're really funny. Especially when Chuck says something out of pocket and Shaq starts laughing at somebody in the back. That's peak television. But when they start talking about basketball, it's basically just Shaq saying every big man sucks, and Chuck saying that he's he just doesn't really know what he's talking about. He's kind of just saying stuff. Kenny trying his best. Kenny saying we all had the same moves Kyrie had, we just didn't use them. And then Ernie Johnson trying his best to keep it all together. So I'm not the biggest fan of that show when it comes to basketball analysis. It is funny. I think it's if they're able to, work on some stuff, it'll be good on ESPN. And as for MJ going to NBC, I've already talked about this. I'm actually really excited for this because when MJ says that, today's game's a lot better than it was in the 90s, old heads will just have to kind of shut up. So I'm really excited for that. We'll see if he actually does that. I think he will, but overall, it's Amazon stinks. Inside the NBA going to ESPN's fine. And I think the NBC broadcast is going to be great. I'm really excited for that if they're able to get some guys that work well with MJ. So that being said, guys, that was our last topic. I guess if you guys, so Q said touch on hockey. Yeah, I don't watch hockey, man.
No one does.
Nobody watches hockey.
We're not someone who has to work with. So
so I know people that actually do watch hockey, and I know the Dallas Stars are in the conference finals and they're down 3-1 to the Oilers, which sucks. But we're not going to be talking about hockey. If you want hockey, you gotta go watch a hockey show because
go watch Wayne Gretzky.
I'm sure hockey's a banger. I know nothing about it. I'm not going to sit here and act like I know anything about it, talk about it, unfortunately. But F1, there we go. I was about to mention it. We could talk about F1. Lando Norris did win Monaco because he won pole. It's the worst race of the year. I fell asleep. I woke up at 8 to watch it, and I fell asleep about 10 minutes in. It's a boring race. Hopefully in 2026, when the cars are smaller, the race will be better because there will be more overtakes. There was only a singular overtake all race long, and it was by Lance freaking Stroll. So that's how you know the race was horrible. The F1 car is just too big right now. It's too big for the track. It's a street grid. So I'm sorry, it's a street track. So there's going to be a lot of, it's just tiny. There's not a lot of places where you can really overtake. It's not a great race to watch. If you have pole and you're not like stupid or your car doesn't explode, you're going to win the race. I know Max was doing everything he could to help Charles win. I know he's doing everything he could to help Charles win. He was not able to do so. Charles did go second, and then Lewis Hamilton, Ferrari stinks, so he was, impeding on Max in qualifying. So he ended up being, I think he was fifth or sixth on the grid at the start, and then I think it's 5th because he moved down a place. No, there was definitely not an overtake. That was not an overtake. That was like an explosion. No, F1's been great this year. If Max Verstappen wins the championship in a car that's barely faster than mine, I don't want to hear anything about the GOAT debate anymore. So we will see what happens. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for joining us for our first live stream. It seemed like it went pretty well. I think more people are actually able to watch it when we do a live stream because it's late at night. People wrapping up for bed, people chilling. So I think we'll probably move forward with it. I've already gotten some pretty good feedback
I like
on it.
Yeah.
I like it. Baseball, we are not talking about baseball 10 games into the season.
I
We're
was
not
not
doing it.
Ohtani though, that just finished 20 home runs this season. Finished pitching, but pitch again, bro. Watch, he's already in the bullpen.
Yeah, no, he's definitely going to pitch. He has 20 home runs right now, 35 RBI. He will be pitching, I think, soon. It's the Dodgers season to lose. They're the best team. But definitely as the season ramps up, we talked a lot of baseball during the playoffs because I know Trey really wanted the Yankees to win. And then you know what happened.
Just look at Juan Soto though without the Yankees.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. The B-dubs, all you can eat wings. That's a deal. That's a steal. It's great. Fantastic. What about pickleball, Jaden? Anything in the pickleball world? I just see things on my Instagram sometimes. I don't really know what's going on in the pickleball world right now.
I don't think there's any recent news. I mean, there wasn't a tournament this last weekend, so
Yeah.
I mean, there was MLP, but there was an actual tournament. So
yeah, I think Ben Johns is ranked 1 still, right?
He's actually not. He's number 2
in doubles. He's 1.
No, only in mixed. He's number 2 in men's and number 2 in singles. Because he just got a new partner. What's his name? I only know his last name.
Oh, when he's looking up that, Nick,
Hmm.
also on the NCAA Football 26 coming out, the trailer with with the actual coaches coming out. What do you think we expect to see from that game?
Just don't be like 2K where it's the same game every year, and then I'm fine. I really don't care.
Because right now they're going to have bringing back Road to Glory with high school football and then mascot.
Yeah, I mean, I really liked College Football 25, so just improve on that, keep it going. That'd be great. So, yeah, the F2 crash, yeah, that was I think I saw that.
Travis,
yeah, at the beginning of Monaco when like they had the pile up, yeah, that was great. Yeah, that's a interesting track. Bring back high school ball. Well, Trey will be covering high school sports, so we might get some more high school stuff coming out soon.
Sports, look it up, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And everybody said, here's the deal. I'm back. I said it. I'm saying it's humbling too, but sometimes I'm a little confident because this guy, people rub me off, dude. People rub me off. And I'm back now, this, like I said last week.
I'm back.
I'm not going there for a long time.
This guy's Michael Jordan. He's back.
Hey, guess what though? This person said to me, people said this to me, Chase Trey won't make it. He's done. He's cooked. Look where I am now. Bring it on.
Talk to him, Trey Lopez. Talk to him.
Bring it on, man.
He's so back. Anish, I miss you too. I missed you today. You missed all of the talk about the Thunder earlier, which I'm glad because none of it was very nice. Jada, did you find who his teammate was?
Yeah, so his new teammate is Gabe Tardio. I believe that's how you say it. I probably butchered it, but
oh wow,
they're actually doing very good together. So, and I was wrong. Ben is number 1 in men's doubles.
Okay, he's number 1 in men's doubles.
He's number 1 in mixed, and he's actually number 4 in singles right now.
Oh wow, he fell off on singles. Wow, that's crazy.
He just won the last tournament. He won the gold medal.
Oh, okay. So maybe he's on the come up.
It was a battle for him, but he actually showed emotion for once.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Gabe Tradillo is Travis's cousin-in-law. That's pretty cool.
Bro,
That's definitely not true, but that's cool. That being said, guys, we really appreciate y'all hopping in for the live stream.
giveaway coming up soon.
Giveaway coming up soon, and I don't know how we're gonna do the giveaway with the lives. We could do the thing where whoever just comment and then we'll throw you in a thing and then do the
Dude, what in the world?
and, and we'll do the thing where it automatically picks the winner, just like and comment or whatever. We could probably do something like that. So
Travis Travis didn't accept the
Travis didn't accept the giveaway, so we're doubling the giveaway.
yeah.
Trey's
Double it.
money from last time, we're doubling it and giving it to the next
The
person.
next person.
Do you want to pay us? Yes, you can. Just
Join
email
our Patreon.
email us at
Like- No, this don't be like that one that the person is supposed to sponsor us and then walking away with it. But we won't go with that.
So, anyways, email us at sidelineplaybook47@gmail.com with any inquiries about sponsorships. That'd be great.
Yeah, we'll
Really
take
great. But yeah, we'll put all you guys in there. We'll let you know when we do that. We'll definitely be doing more of a live stream format going forward. Yes, you can invest in the podcast. Like I said, guys, Sideline Playbook 47. Wait, hold on. I think I butchered it.
at Gmail. I think that's right.
Is that right?
Let me see.
Sideline Playbook 47@gmail.com.
Yeah.
He wants, okay, we're on Shark Tank now. Amish is going to invest $100 for 100% equity. Thank you so much for your offer. We're going to have to decline. We will take the $100 with 0% equity though. That would be fantastic. All right, guys, that being said, we're going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll be back again next week, probably on Monday, hopefully a normal live on Monday. So see you guys then. Thank you guys for being here and talking with us, chatting with us, and getting through all of our craziness. No Bronny talk next week. We got you, man. We got you next week. Q. Bronny talk next week. Trust.
We're
All right, guys.
We're going to talk about Bronny. What's he going to do?
I don't know. He just wanted us to talk about Bronny, but we will do it. We'll do it next week. Trust me. And no, appreciate you guys. And we'll see you guys next week. Y'all have a fantastic rest of
See you on the next one.
evening. Thank God I don't have to watch the Thunder play for a couple days. Thank God.
Thank God. I agree.
Thank God. Woo! Not till Thursday. That's fantastic. That's great. So yeah, next Thursday. All right, guys. We'll see you later.